Howdy, gang. Kevin here. I guess it's going to be another cigar and whiskey talk. That's all I've had time for lately. So we're going to smoke an Alec Bradley Black Market Punk. Whew. Been busy. Finally got everything ready to go for the gathering, except getting it all loaded in the van. That is as far as making product goes. Made the last 165 things today. This has not been in the humidor, so it's a little dry. Oh, let's see. I think our alcoholic choice today going to be some Drift Creek corn whiskey from my buddies over at the Trent family. A little white liquor today. Well, let's see here. I made the mistake today of scrolling through my news feed before I started making stuff. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We have been goofing around for so long, thinking people were going to come to their senses and stop acting like morons and doing the stuff they're doing. But no. And I really think that it is time that we stopped letting the inmates run the asylum. I don't understand. I really don't understand what's going on, other than the fact we have been worried about bruising people's egos and bruising their delicate psyches, when in fact that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. We removed the stigma of people doing stuff they're not supposed to do. We don't have a polite society anymore. We don't have people trying to make sense anymore. We got people just seeing how far out of the norm they can get and make other people try to accept it. Or not just accept it, celebrate it and agree with it and participate in it. I was watching an interview. I don't know what the interview was about. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It was some lady wearing a mask getting interviewed by somebody. And this is recent, right? Mask stuff's over. She's still wearing a mask. And she started on about right-wing agenda and da-da-da-da-da-da. And the guy said, I'm not right-wing anything. She goes, you got an American flag shirt on. You're a right-winger. No, not what that means. Then he shot that down. Then she started talking about, do you believe there are only two genders? He goes, yes, that's what I believe. He goes, there's men and women and people with gender dysphoria. And she started on that. And then she started in like, I risked my life. I bet you didn't wear a mask during the pandemic, did you? He goes, no, I didn't. And she goes, I risked my life coming here today knowing you weren't going to be wearing a mask. And she's typical. It's one of those, you have to accept all my quirks. And not only do you have to accept all my quirks, you have to participate in them. I was telling my son my youngest, when he joined the military. I said, number one, we've done our bit for king and country, so don't feel obligated. And that's what I tell everybody now. It's one of those, don't feel obligated. Because the military has become one grand social experiment. I read Navy Times and Army Times, and I read the stuff online that they put online about things that are going on in the military. And you used to be able to join the military and get away from all that political correctness and all this stuff that's going on. When I joined the Navy back a long time ago, the question on the questionnaire was, have you ever engaged in homosexual activities? And if you answered yes, you weren't going. Then later, it was, have you ever engaged in homosexual activities other than adolescent experimentation? And if you said yes, you weren't going in. Then we got to, we don't care if you're gay, you're just not going to talk about it, and you ain't going to bring that stuff out in the mainstream. Then it was, don't ask, don't tell. You could be gay, but don't be overt about it. And we ain't going to ask you about it. Then it went to, well, like it is now. It's one of those, hey, be as gay as you want to be. Have a good time. Which I don't care, I'll be honest with you. But they had a thing in the military called public displays of affection when I was in. When you were in uniform and out in public, things like that, you couldn't be all over each other. Now, I went to a couple of homecoming events for units coming back from overseas. And if you're not straight, it's fine to be as overt as you want to be in public. And didn't say a word to those people. They were all over each other, getting off the bus. Which is fine. I don't care. But I think pretty soon, to go in the military, you have to agree to be gay. Or probably now, at least trans. At least trans. But anyway, that ain't what this is about. This ain't about heterosexuality and homosexuality. It's about the inmates running the asylum. I think it's time that abnormal behavior, and I say abnormal because biologically we're a two-sex species, whether you like it or not. There's only one combination that can produce an offspring. Naturally produce an offspring. Only one. Only one. Anyhow, gatherings in a few days. I'm almost ready. Haven't loaded anything, but I think I've got everything just about ready to go. I got some stuff to do, supplies to get, and organizing of the van and things like that. I think I'm almost ready to go. Kind of scary. With all that being said, y'all have fun. Time to take America back. I do it again. I do it again. See y'all in the woods.